Right, next we're going to be talking about... Do we want to talk about Miro, or should we leave that?
Let's talk about him.
Okay, so there's something called Meat Madness.
Rusev,
yes, probably best known as Rusev. Meat Madness was a match that was booked for the AEW Revolution show that was headlined by Sting. We'll be talking about Sting in a minute. And it featured Lance Archer, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs on the graphic, to say. Meat Madness is what used to be called the heavyweight division, is now Meat Madness. And just as soon as it was announced,
that's
it was
taken from March Madness. That's the basketball. Yeah, that's the basketball tournament in the United States.
I see.
It's a college tournament.
So anyway, this one was cancelled. So there's no meat, no meat for you in March anyway. So you'll have to go mad at another month when there is more meat to go mad with. But
there's no meat, so it's all vegan madness.
So vegan madness is so you can have like Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin and all the really thin ones. Anyway, so apparently after announcing this match with these three people in, it was cancelled. And then it was cancelled because apparently Miro, Rusev, the former Rusev, and Keith Lee were also going to be part of Meat Madness, but couldn't because they were both injured. And somehow Tony Khan didn't realise that they were both injured, and therefore he just cancelled it outright. So it's sort of a really odd thing where Rusev Miro got injured in September, hasn't wrestled since January because he got medical attention in January, and then he just never told Tony Khan, and it went unnoticed for 2 months.
They didn't even check with him to see what his prognosis was on his treatment, or
apparently not. No.
Are they still paying him?
Yes, but they didn't even know that he was on the shelf.
When is Tony going to learn that sometimes wrestlers just write it because it's legal? They got to get paid. So I guess he figured, don't say nothing. If they don't notice it, I don't notice it. So why would I want to bring attention up? You can't really blame the guy for doing that because it's not his fault. It's Tony Khan's office fault. Now, it's not up to Tony Khan to look at that every day because he has people. That's their job. So if they don't bring it to his attention, then nothing's going to be done. But anyway, these guys that get hurt and they go home and they get paid, they try to do that every other week in WWF when I was there, but it don't work. Hell, I went to work hurt before. And when they said, well, if you don't come, you don't get paid. Well, that's a pretty good motivation to get you up, get moving, because, I want to eat the next week. I want to pay some bills. I don't want to get behind on anything, but I think it's Tony Khan. Now I retract my statement about Guevara. He didn't take charge of it. Bryan Danielson did, and he's still in the background on running the company. See, Tony, I think, I'm on Tony right now. He just wants to be creative, period. He just wants to do that, it looks like. Come up with these great ideas like Meat Madness. Hey, and I do like your idea of the skinny guys. Put them in what
vegan madness. I like
put
that.
Darby Allin and those real skinny guys in there. And I saw a guy said, please, whoever sees this guy, offer him a sandwich or buy him a burger or do something. Tell him to eat.
Oh dear. Do you think that because the big joke is that Tony Khan didn't even know he was injured, let alone on the shelf and had surgery or whatever medical procedure?
I guarantee you, then, if nobody called him, he just fell off the radar. Which
he's like the Iron Sheik.
Yep, same way.
Do you remember the Iron Sheik in WCW? They just forgot they were paying him.
He told me the story. He said, Bubba. He called everybody, Bubba, I go to the office and they look at me, they say, oh, Sheik, what are you doing here? And I'm saying, I want to talk to and then they walk away, and I don't know. I don't. And he was hurt, but they kept sending him the check. You got a check in WCW every 2 weeks, but he was making, I guess, I don't know what he was making, $5,000
It
a
was like
week.
125.
Was that what he was making?
125, 150 or something like that. Yeah.
I think he's making a little more than that. But him, but if they keep sending you checks and they're not checking on you, why would you check with them? That's their responsibility, not the talent. So I don't blame the Sheik, but they paid him, I think, close to 2 years, and he never showed up one time. Maybe he may have showed up, but
Yeah, but he showed up a couple of times and he was so bad they sent him home and then forgot they were paying him. Amazing.
Well, he probably showed up, but my shoulder, my shoulder. And Sid Vicious was with him. Oh, Mr. Sid, what do you call him? Sir Sid. Oh, Sir Sid. What are they talking about? Good guy. If he liked you.
Do you think that Miro, Rusev, because he was barely on TV when he was healthy, and then they had that really awful storyline where his hot, flexible wife, CJ Perry, the previously known as Lana, turned up, and then it made no sense, and no one was buying it. And then they both disappeared again. Do you think they're basically trying to not get noticed, ride out the contract, and then go back to WWE?
No, I think they're done in wrestling.
Really?
Well, I think, what is the CJ Perry? She's doing some, she's an influencer now, right?
Yes,
Something
I think
like
she
that.
does quite well.
I think she's doing well. And I think he's doing some in gaming. So they're making good money from what I hear, doing other stuff. But seriously, why would you go if you were making good money and you don't have to travel? You don't have to go halfway around the country or them book you in somewhere in China or someplace. Why would you do that if you don't have to do it? I mean, the love of the business is one thing, but when that love of the business puts you on flights, I took a flight one time from New York to India, 17 and a half hours. Good God. You lose a day. And when somebody tells you you lose a day, you say, how do you lose a day? You do. You cross that international date line, I guess. But when I got down there, it was like 12 hours earlier than what I started, or some messed up thing. I never really got it. But now that she's doing the influencer deal, and I know some of those people are knocking it down because people know who she is, and it's all based on viewership and clicks. And I think Miro is doing something with gaming. I don't think they need the business anymore. So, and I'm glad for him, because if he's hurt and coming back just to make just to make a little money, and I don't think the money that Tony is paying him is actually matching what CJ Perry is making just off the internet.
No, it probably isn't. But as we were talking about meat madness, vegan madness, which is definitely a good idea, the AEW Revolution show, Meat Madness wasn't going to be on.
I kind of like vegan madness now. I kind of like it. Yeah.
I've just turned the internet off. Right.
That sounds something. That sounds something like Insane Clown Posse would advertise.
Yeah, but they put it on like 3 a.m. in the morning.
They just go out and get them a bunch of homeless guys on the street that are skinny and need something. Get in the rain. Just stand there. And what are we doing? Don't worry about it.
If they did it, it'd be crackhead madness.
Hey, we need to keep this show a little more serious, because the wrestling fans.
Meth madness.
What is
Meth madness.
Boy, they would not be a lack of competitors in that match. They'd be a lot of them signing up for that.
Ladder.
Meth madness.
Yeah, some meth, a bag of meth at the top. First one to get it takes all.
These are all jokes. The basis of them have all been tried in cars and trips and all. We would come up with stupid stuff like that to pass the time. And it was funny. It was entertaining. Meth. But I'm going to tell you what, there are some probably promotions, that run in bars. They don't give a crap. They do stuff like that.
Mm.
So we may, if there's a Meth Madness match, we can say that we instigated it. We started the trend. Meth.
Yeah, we own the trademark on it.
Yeah, we do. And it draws like 35 people, but they enjoy. What if it's really meth up there and they have to smoke it in the arena? You got to put some stipulations on it or share it with the crowd.